A big hi to all of my friends in Poland who are watching this video. This project, this magazine, this publication, Technology for Business, is very close to my heart and close to the company that we are talking about, Mad Talks, which is about making a difference. And this company of ours actually puts together the whole concept of bringing the future of technology to business. We are for business and about business. So let me just take you through a couple of points in terms of bringing you the key elements of the business of the future. Now, I asked the question, what are the most important things deciding our future? Most people say artificial intelligence, big data, nanotechnology, all of that. Now, all of that is important, but my sincere and deep view is that the future is going to be defined by trust, by ethics, by humanity, by values, and by empathy. We can have fintech, but if we do not have trust and ethics, nothing will work. We can have genetic development, but if we don't have our value system and our moral compass in place, nothing will work. We can have all sorts of new science and technology, but if we do not have our empathy and our humanity in place, nothing will work. So therefore, what we do is we actually take the future in a completely different way. Now, there was a study that was done in Babson College about dinosaurs, but actually it was done about businesses. And what they said that 75% of the businesses in the S&P 500 will no longer exist in the year 2025. But more importantly, for everybody who's watching this video, that 50% of the businesses that will replace those 25% have not been born today. Therefore, it becomes so critical for all of the startups, the entrepreneurs, the young people to transform the future through technology. It is in your hands, ladies and gentlemen, to be able to bring this transformation. Now, what is happening is that 20th century companies are coming down and 21st century companies are going up. And in this middle, there is what we call a transformation decade. This transformation decade is what you are in Poland. And Poland is beautifully positioned centrally in Europe to be able to take advantage of this particular transition. And that is the future, ladies and gentlemen, that you need to be thinking about. Why is all of this thing happening? It's happening because technological change is faster than social business and any kind of political change. As you in Poland, I am sure, have realized that. So where we are today with this is that the future is not dependent on the past or today. The future is dependent on the future. And we need to project ourselves in the future and look back to be able to drive where we are going. So what you need to think about is this red line is all of the businesses, all the technology businesses that you have today. And this yellow line at the bottom coming up, this is the stealth, the invisible line of technological progress. What happens is that if you think about 3D printing, it's been around for 35 years. Genome sequencing has been around for 35 years. Artificial intelligence first started about 65 years ago. And they were happening very, very quietly and very slowly. But the moment they hit, game over for that business, game over for all of the technologies that you have, if you do not anticipate this thing going forward. So these folks didn't understand it, and therefore they disappeared. And a classic example is Kodak. Now, when I talk about Kodak, I ask what business were they in? Most people say cameras, most people say film and so on. Do you think that's what it is? It's not. Kodak was in the business of memories and moments, emotions and our heart. And Kodak forgot that. And that is where they went down. And it was replaced in 2012, immediately after they went into bankruptcy, by guess who? Instagram, because they were capturing moments and using the digital platforms to be able to distribute. So what happens is when digital technology or any kind of new technology comes in, the chart goes up like this, and the old technology collapses. Then the domain changes and the marginal cost of doing this thing explodes. These folks understood this. They made this particular change, and they're not that innovative or that experts or that smart, but they managed to look at that friction in the market, digitize that, and greased the wheels and made billion-dollar or trillion-dollar company as we go forward. Now this is the future. You, Technology for Business, T for B, this is your future, ladies and gentlemen. This is where you are going to define who you are and what you are doing. Is it complex? Yes, designed to be. This diagram is designed to be very, very complex because that's exactly the kind of stuff that we are going through. So what I keep saying is, with one of my professors, his book, is whatever got us here will not get us there. You guys need to be able to sort of say, okay, my law degree, my accounting degree, my engineering degree got me here. But to go forward from here, you need to relearn, learn new things, and think differently, otherwise you will not be able to get there. You'll be stuck in there without even realizing the cement is going to solidify and you will be disrupted. To my friends in Poland, the readers of T for B, this is your future. You need to be upside down. You need to think differently. You need to be in a completely different place. When you start thinking differently, then you can have a future. In this future, ladies and gentlemen, we also have to think about and look at what kind of qualifications you need, what kind of degrees you will have in the future. So when I go around, I'm always asked this question, what should be my next degree? And most people want to specialize in whatever they are doing, which is absolutely fine. There's nothing wrong with it. However, the future of jobs, the future of employment, the future of business are for human beings, are all of those things that computers and robots cannot do. Think about that, cannot do. So the kinds of degrees that we need to be looking at are as follows. We need to look at astronomy, we need to look at anthropology, we need to become a music conductor, a violinist, we need to look at a completely different set of qualifications, learning and understanding that will fundamentally change the game. This is building your future. So you folks at T4B need to be thinking about this. Become anthropologists, become ethicists, become sort of social scientists. That is what is going to, so it's not about technology as much, but as about understanding humanity and emotion. This is the second piece, and it looks very complicated. It's actually not. It's basically our human mind and our human brain essentially has been functioning and we are being taught to do two things, verbal and numerical. That's what we learn at university. But we have multiple intelligence. We have hundreds of 6, 7, 8, 12 intelligences. We need to have spatial intelligence, spiritual intelligence, emotional intelligence. All of these intelligences come together. And I know this is a little bit counterintuitive to you, but that's intended. The future is not technology, ladies and gentlemen. The future is about humanity. The future is about emotion, using technology as a subprime. Now, this is one of the big initiatives we have, and that is what we call the future boardroom. So what we are saying is that the average boardroom or a parallel boardroom of the future is essentially going to be younger, much, much more diverse, probably lower than 30 years or 25 years of age, probably with an AI. This thing is happening now. So we need to be practicing immediately, because the 55-year-old CFO does not know how to invest in an e-gaming company, but the 20-year-old does. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what this is all about. So as a final message for T4B, what we need to be looking at is a broader view of the world, a more human view of the world, a more ethical view of the world. What we really need to be looking at is how T4B and all of the great minds there can take technology, put a layer of humanity, ethics, values, and empathy over it. That, ladies and gentlemen, is your future. So I wish you well. I hope to be back in Poland at some point in time, and I hope that this message will give you some new ideas to think about. And for all of the readers, this is a special message for you from Dubai, from the Future Accelerator here. Thank you very much indeed.